So I've spent a month with the Asus Republic of Gamer Flow X13, one of my favorite laptops for being thin and light, being really on-the-go friendly, and having pretty solid battery life and performance. Now we're gonna get into some things that I love, some things that I don't like, and then we're gonna make a recommendation if this is the laptop that you should purchase. Now first and foremost, I think this thing lacks in connectivity. It only has two USB Type-Cs, one of them being hidden inside of this XG Mobile connectivity port. Now we'll talk about the XG Mobile in just a second. It also has an HDMI, a headphone jack, and a singular USB Type A. It just feels like it lacks connectivity. If I were wanting to hook just a couple of peripherals up to this laptop, I would run out very quickly. I'd have to pick up a dongle. It would just kind of put a damper on the fact that if I'm on the go, I don't want to bring a bunch of stuff along with me. Now let's jump into the XG Mobile. Personally, it doesn't really work for me. The XG Mobile, if you don't know much about it, is an RTX 3080 that hooks in very conveniently into this adapter port right here. It gives you great performance with this thin and light laptop. If you're somebody who wants a thin and light laptop, but then wants a big boost in performance when you're setting up at all the different locations that you find yourself working. For me, either I'm doing business or editing thumbnails on the go, or I'm here at home editing 6K footage on my home workstation PC. If you're somebody who does want that thin and light laptop with awesome performance by just simply plugging in an XG Mobile, then it's a fantastic price. I think it's around $2,500 on bestbuy.com right now. And if you want the live pricing, you can check the links in the description. Now, if you do make a purchase of that, I'll get a small commission, but at no extra cost to you. But of course, that's what keeps this channel alive and the helpful content coming your way. So I appreciate it when y'all use those links. Now, let's say you don't get the XG Mobile. Let's say you just go for the X13. How's the performance? Personally, I feel like it's slightly underpowered, especially when you look at something like the G14, and the G14 is only $100 more than the X13. Then it leaves you to wonder, okay, what is the purpose of this model? We'll get into that in a second. I think in regards to 3D modeling, Blender, and 6K video editing, this just lacks that performance of, say, an RTX 3060 or an RX 6700S, like in the G14. This is a 4 gig equipped VRAM card, whereas the RTX 3060 is a 6 gig VRAM card, and the RX 6700S is an 8 gig VRAM card. Plenty of performance for 3D modeling, for Blender, and for 6K video editing. This, I feel like, is just a little bit lacking. You can pick up this laptop usually around $1,600, but you could pick up the G14 for around $1,649 and get all that performance. Now, where I feel this laptop really fits well is it's thinner and lighter than the G14. It's like a tiny little ultrabook. The G14 definitely has more of a gamer laptop vibe going on with it. Now, the G14 also gets a little bit hotter compared to the X13. So that's where I would personally pick the X13. I don't need all that on-the-go performance. I like to have some performance. Let's say I want to preview some 6K footage, then the RTX 3050 Ti would be plenty of GPU for me. I could edit on-the-go 4K video. This would be plenty of performance for me as well for 4K. Let's say you're a 4K video editor. Plenty of performance here. I mainly am doing business docs. I'm editing photos. I'm checking my investments, yada, yada. That's what I'm doing with an on-the-go laptop. I come home and I edit on a big tower PC. So just trying to create some clarity here on maybe the fit for this laptop.
I'm freaking stoked about the Patreon that we're about to launch. Absolutely. We're launching a freaking Patreon and you should join because it's going to be awesome. We're going to have never before seen content on the channel. Patreon, not channel. Channel's YouTube. So why is this content not being posted to YouTube? Well, the answer is really simple. I know that there is a tight group of loyal followers that follow my content, and I want to reward and be a part of the tight, loyal community that we have been building here as we've been reaching 85,000 subscribers. And I want to go deeper with you guys. I want to do live Q&As. I want to get face-to-face with you and chat in a live video call with my most faithful subscribers. I want to repurpose that content and put it on my channel so you can then be featured in my channel with me. I want to do exclusive giveaways that I can't just launch to the masses of communities. There's sometimes I get to keep laptops, but I don't need them. And so it's a place for me to basically just give back to my most loyal community followers.
Now, the next thing I don't love about this laptop is that the screen only gets about 300 nits of brightness. Now, it does have good color gamut range. It has 100% sRGB, but again, Like I mentioned earlier, so does the G14, 100% sRGB, and the G14 actually gets 482 nits of brightness. So it's gonna be a brighter screen. Now this is a 2-in-1 laptop where the G14 is not, and so that's a benefit to you if you're a digital artist. You have a nice touchscreen laptop here. You can bring your pen along to work on a design or a piece of art, and it makes a lot more sense than the G14 not being a touchscreen. So to me, this is a little bit more of artist-focused laptop than it is like a video editor, 3D modeler, or somebody using Blender. Well, that's an artist as well, but I mean like graphic designer, digital artist, maybe photographer doing touch-up with a pen. That's where I see this fit. All right, now we've talked about some things that I'm not really in love with, kind of spattered in some things I do like. Let's get into more of the dedicated things that I like about this laptop. First and foremost is the battery life. Now, I know a lot of you have been questioning the battery life. Some of you own this laptop and you're saying, Ben, I can only get like 2 or 3 hours of battery life. How are you getting all these really long battery lives out of this laptop? Well, in order to get long battery life, you have to run on eco mode at 25% screen brightness, and you have to turn on the Windows battery saver mode. If you do that, you can get longer battery lives out of this laptop. Now, the negative of that is you won't have access to your dedicated GPU. It's going to substantially slow down your computer in order to conserve power. And so though the advertised battery life is much higher, if you try and do full performance and get good battery life, you're going to fail. And so that's where the whole semantics of having a powerful laptop but still expecting good battery life and advertising and marketing all kind of jumble together and the confusion happens. Now, the next thing I love about this laptop is it is truly one of the thinnest and lightest powerful laptops that money can buy. I mean, it is just crazy. It's so light, it's so thin, love the magnesium chassis. And so that's probably one of the greatest benefits to this laptop. And the price is not half bad for the performance that you get with that Ryzen 9 6900HS. Now, the keyboard is something that I also really enjoy about this laptop. I like a simple keyboard. It's a nice medium key press. I have a full-size shift key. I have my arrow keys. I have quick access to the Asus Armory Crate Center, my fan modes, print screen, brightness. Everything that I use on the day-to-day is quickly accessible from my keyboard. Now, I will throw in something I don't like in the section of talking about things that I do like, and that's the small trackpad. If I wanted a larger trackpad, it would lean me towards the Asus Zephyrus G14. It has a larger glass trackpad. I believe it's a better quality trackpad, but unfortunately they still give us this small trackpad that they've had on this laptop since it's hit the market. Hopefully next year, fingers crossed, it'll have a larger trackpad, and this would be an even better laptop in my opinion, for my personal use. Now, in mentioning that magnesium chassis from just a moment ago, it does feel a little on the plasticky side. It is magnesium, so it's good and durable and light. However, it's thin magnesium, so it does feel a little on the plasticky side when you're handling the laptop. But because it's light, because it's thin, I'm really okay with it feeling that way because I know it is not plastic. If I didn't know that it was magnesium, I might feel a little less about the laptop because it does feel a little plasticky. But because I do, I can confidently go, all right, I like it. It's good. So a little disclaimer there. Now, punch for punch, the performance of this laptop is really perfect for me. It's fantastic in Photoshop, InDesign, and Illustrator. So whether you're a graphic designer, digital artist, or photographer, you have the performance you need for those apps. Now, if you're a video editor shooting 4K, this laptop has plenty of performance, edits with 0 drop frames, and exports fairly quickly as well. So I think the performance of this laptop is spot on. Now, in regards to connecting external monitors, you have an HDMI port and those 2 USB Type-Cs with the dedicated GPU, the RTX 3050 Ti. So even if you're just a business owner, that sounds offensive. Even if you're a business owner not doing creative work, totally acceptable and awesome, you would be able to hook up multiple monitors to this laptop and still get full access to that CPU and have great performance. So you wouldn't get bogged down. Maybe if you're on like a video call and the CPU is like trying to keep up, you wouldn't have those issues because you have the GPU running the external monitors and you have the CPU running all of the computing tasks like web browsing, doing conference calls, writing docs, doing emails, whatever it might be. Tell me what you would use this laptop for. Definitely comment below. I'm super curious the use cases of people considering the Asus Republic of Gamer Flow X13. Tap that subscribe button. Take the 1 to 2 seconds to tap that subscribe button. We're trying to get to 100,000 subscribers by Christmas. Links in the description if you're ready to make a purchase. And I'll see you guys here in the next video.